Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Financial News in Payless Heights. Today is August 8th, 2022. I'm Ron Jankowski with Channel 4, and my co-host is Paul Munico from Ameriprise. And Paul's going to give us an update. And Paul, I'm going to let you take it off. Lots of activity for the last few weeks. And last week, I guess over the weekend, there were some changes made with legislature. And I don't know if you want to cover that yet. Maybe
I'm going to let that stuff play out a little bit. I'm not going to comment on the legislation
I'll
yet.
let you roll.
I'm going to hit up on earnings again because that's something that should be driving the stock market,
Right.
In typical market rates. So I'm going to hit that up today.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to talk today about the S&P 500 companies that are now expected to generate year-over-year Q2 earnings per share growth of positive 6.7%. Now, the current earnings per share growth expectation compares to an expected positive 5.9% last week and 4.9% the week before. So as you can tell, those expectations are increasing. The blended estimate of sales growth has also grown materially, with every S&P 500 sector seeing year-over-year expansion. Sales growth for the period is now even at 13.8% versus 12.5% last week and 10.7% 2 weeks ago. Again, so it's a remarkable pace in our view, given the current conditions, including the headwind of a very strong US dollar, and in comparison to sales growth's historical average growth rate of about 6%. Now, as of quarter's end, which was June 30th, consensus estimates were looking for year-over-year earnings per share growth of about 5% and sales growth of about 10%. We got this data, we sourced it all from FactSet, so there's more we can dive into this, but the gist of it, and I want the viewers to see, is things are improving, which is a good sign. We'll see if it keeps going.
And I'm going to give you this morning's information that we also received from Ameriprise. The U.S. stock index futures are nearly the best levels of the morning after stocks put in 3 consecutive weeks of gains.
It's nice to see after we've had many weeks of downward movement. So to get a couple of positive weeks in a row, I'm sure investors at home are happy to see their statements come in, hopefully higher after that activity.
And the markets in Asia closed mixed in a narrow range, while Europe is higher by nearly 1% at midday. Treasury yields are generally higher across the board, with a 10-year at 2.80% and a 2-year at 3.23%.
Yep, yields are up, so prices are down on the bonds. That makes sense.
Yep. Bitcoin is up 5% pre-market. WTI crude is down 1%. Good to hear that after losing nearly 10% last week, bringing some of the gas prices down. And gold is up 0.2%. S&P 500 year to date, minus 12%. Of course, that's going to...
It's a bad number, but think about how bad what numbers we reported earlier in the year were.
Thank you for saying that.
I was improving a little bit.
Yes, we are. Dow Jones a minus 8%. And the NASDAQ is a minus 19%. So basically, what we just went through, it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, if you say, the Dow Jones is down 8, that doesn't sound great. But compared to where it was, I mean, we're starting to come back a little bit.
Yep, we are. Okay, thank you, Paul, for that report. And stay with us. We will be right back with our show called Your Money, and a good topic to discuss with Paul. Thank you for staying with us. We're going to go to our show called Your Money, and Paul usually has a great topic, and this topic is the insurance you may not realize you need. So let's listen to what Paul has to say.
Thanks, Ron. Insurance, it's a product for the what-ifs in life, and a good insurance policy can reduce the financial impact of an adverse event. It can help to mitigate financial losses, and it can provide some stability and maybe even offer some peace of mind during difficult times. So let's dive into this a little bit. Some insurance coverage is deemed so important it's mandated by law. But there's also lesser known insurance coverage worth exploring. So I'm going to go over a couple of things to think about whether you want this kind of coverage or not. So think about these optional coverages to trade uncertainty for some financial protection. First one is homeowner riders. So if you have a mortgage, homeowner insurance is required. A basic homeowner policy provides standard reimbursement after a deductible for approved claims due to theft or damage to your property, dwelling, personal possessions, and liability. Now, such coverage, however, may not be sufficient enough. If you have valuable art or jewelry in your home, a rider can potentially ensure appropriate reimbursement if these items are stolen or damaged. So consider a rider to offset the liability of owning a swimming pool or a trampoline, for example. Or some other common riders we see cover water damage, identity restoration, and business assets if you conduct business out of your home. So all things to consider potential riders. Talk to your homeowner's insurance provider on adding those if you're interested. There's something called renter's insurance. So if your personal property is stolen or damaged at a rented house or apartment, you may be out of luck unless you carry your own renter's insurance. Maybe look for a policy that includes liability coverage, which provides financial protection in case someone gets hurt at your rented residence. This one for the travelers out there, there's traveler insurance. You may want to explore this travel insurance before an international trip. A policy that covers unexpected cancellations is reassuring when planning an expensive vacation with non-refundable reservations. A policy that provides international medical coverage can be a real lifesaver since most U.S. health insurance plans do not reimburse for care provided outside the country. So think about these travel type insurance and talk to your travel agent or again your insurance provider on those. You know, these most comprehensive travel policies do sometimes include reimbursement for medical evacuation and anything that needs to be left behind. So check into those with your agent. Some policies allow appliance insurance. So many utility companies offer affordable insurance plans to cover needed appliance maintenance and repairs. Coverage is usually available for major appliances, including your refrigerator, stove, dishwasher, furnace, water heater, washer, dryer, and maybe your air conditioner. This one here is kind of a newer one, but pet insurance. Veterinary care can be expensive. A pet insurance policy can help pet owners manage the cost of owning a pet. Now, most policies do not cover wellness care, but do cover all or part of the expense for emergency procedures and major medical needs. So pet insurance is one to check into. This one everyone is probably familiar with, but life insurance riders. So basic life insurance pays out for death for natural causes and most accidents. But there are exceptions, however. Insurance companies generally exclude coverage for risky activities. So if you participate in extreme sports or own a private plane, you may want to purchase a life insurance rider. We always recommend you review your insurance coverages annually or when you experience a life-changing event. As always, be sure to comparison shop as insurance policies can vary widely in coverage and cost. Work with your trusted financial advisor or insurance advisor. They can be a great help or resource to help you determine if you carry sufficient levels of insurance or if an additional coverage policy is warranted. So again, these are some general policy recommendations to think about, but you do have to work with your insurance provider to make sure they're right for you.
It is something that I think you already mentioned. It should be noted again, is that should be all reviewed annually. Lots of changes take place in your life, and if you don't make the adjustments on your insurance, you may be sorry you did that.
Exactly.
Ignored it.
Life does change, and so
Right.
should these things with it. So, and if you need help looking at those, call your insurance agent, call your financial advisor. But if you're not working with one, you can call me. And I'm at 708-226-3412.
Thank you again, Paul, and Ameriprise Financial. For Paul Munical, myself, Ron Jankowski, we wish you a good investment day.